there, I'm Victoria and welcome back to FemmeHead. Today I'm going to talk about finding your new normal after having a baby. It took me like a year to do this after Theo, and I would like to take some of my wisdom and share it with you if you are looking for it. First off, cut yourself some slack. You've had a child, your life has been thrown upside down. Like, it's okay to not have it all together. There is this unnecessary pressure to snap back, to get your body back right away, to like get back to normal and to have a pristine house, home cooked meals, a beautifully, adorably dressed child, and to be exercising. Oh, just have it all together. And like, that is not how it goes. There is so much of postpartum and that like first year of your child's life that is literally just survival. Get through the next hour, get through to the next nap, get to bedtime, and that's okay. That is completely normal. Slowly but surely, you get your feet back under you and you start going like, okay, I can add back in this aspect of normal life. I can get back to doing this thing that I used to enjoy. For me, sleep is the biggest variable. It's the thing that impacts my well-being day to day and what I'm able to accomplish day to day. And when you're waking up every 2 hours to feed that child throughout the night, it is okay to just survive. When they're going through their sleep regression and they're up every like 15 minutes or whatever and they're not sleeping, it is okay to just survive. Even if they're sleeping through the night and you're struggling, it is okay to just survive. But for me, now that Lincoln, bless his little soul, is doing longer stretches of sleep at night. He wakes up twice. He goes to bed around the same time as Theo, like 7:30. I used to with Theo, I would wake him up at 10 and do that dream feed, and then that he would do his long stretch from there. But Lincoln doesn't do the dream feed. Like, he will still then wake up when he would normally wake up if he didn't do the dream feed. So I just let him sleep. So he does his long stretch from when he goes down for bed, and that's fine. That's usually around midnight. And then his second feed is like 4 a.m. Getting to that point from like not even getting an hour chunk of sleep at a time, it's just like, oh, I could take on the world. When you're getting just the tiniest chunks of sleep at a time, like you're not getting quality rest and you wake up feeling like you fell out of a tree. And it's terrible and it's hard. It's my least favorite part about having a child. If I could skip the like no sleep phase, I would have all the babies. That's not true, because they're a lot of work during the days as well too. I like structure, I like routines, I like feeling productive. That's just me. If that's not you, that's fine. We're all different. Your new schedule is going to revolve around when your child eats and when they sleep. And there's nothing wrong with that. And this doesn't mean that you can't do the things that you did before having a baby. You either have to schedule those things, around their schedule, bring them along, or have someone else watch them. I know some people are against like schedules and routines for babies and kids. Everything that I have heard and experienced is that babies and children thrive off of routines. They like knowing what to expect, and it gives you sanity and clarity and allows you to be a better parent to them, a better spouse, a better friend, a better daughter, all these things. So I am a big believer in schedules. And does it like on the dot, perfect, pristine schedules? Hell no. These are flexible because your baby is flexible. They are not going to eat every 3 hours on the dot. They are not going to sleep for 2 hours exactly. Like, there has to be flexibility, but recognizing like, okay, I know that he's going to eat every 2 to 3 hours. I know that he's going to need to go down for a nap after he's been up for an hour and a half. That gives me sanity. Allows me to schedule out my time better. It allows me to be a human and not tied to like feeling super anxious of like, I can't leave the house because I don't know when they're gonna nap, and what if they don't nap, and what if I can't feed them? And it's just like, no, I know I've got, at least an hour until like he might need to eat again. Maybe I have 2 hours. I can go and do XYZ. It just like, it's so helpful. But it allows me to like plan my days out. I'm currently using like a time block system. Made a video about it, I'll link it down below. But it just helps me look at like splitting my days up into chunks revolving around like their schedules. The time block schedule just helps with the flexibility I need in my day. You'll realize that how you did things pre-kid are going to have to change after having a kid, and that's not a bad thing. Like, I think how I do things now is better and it's more efficient, and it's just, I have my life together more now than I did before having kids. It's like when in college you have a super, super busy schedule and you just don't have any time. I felt like I was so much more productive because when I had more time, I would procrastinate because I'd be like, I have time to do it, you know, this time or that time. But it's like, no, I have an internship, I have a job, you know, I can't do it then. Like, I have to do it now when I have this chunk of time. And that's how it feels with kids. Before kids, I would do a big house apartment clean once a week on the weekends, and it'd be like a 2-hour cleaning fest. And like, that's just how I did it. You don't have like a 2-hour chunk of free time with children. And so I have reworked it, and now I have daily cleaning tasks and like a room to tackle each day of the week. And I just, you know, split it out over an entire week, and that is just so much more manageable. And it's nice to not have to like dedicate your Saturday or your Sunday to cleaning. I still do a bit more cleaning on the weekends because it's easier when Michael's here, and that's, you know, sometimes when I'll tackle the bathrooms or whatever, or I'll wash the bedding. Okay, knowing that I'm gonna do a load of dishes every day, that I'm gonna vacuum every day, that I'm gonna like tidy like it just works so much better. Before kids, I would just cook whatever. I wouldn't really think about what I was making. I would just buy the same sort of groceries and make the same sort of meals week to week, and it'd just be like, oh, we're getting hungry, okay, let's cook. That doesn't work anymore. I meal plan, I do a grocery pickup order, and I don't go into the stores because that just saves time that you don't have. And I have, you know, 4-ish meals a week that I know that we're gonna have for dinner. I don't say like, oh, Tuesdays is tacos. I have like, it's like, okay, these are the meals, and it's like, it's Tuesday. Do we feel like pot pie or do we feel like veggie burgers? Before kids, I would just work normal-ish hours. I would pack up, ride my little bike over to a coffee shop, pull out my laptop, and just have endless hours just working without distraction or stopping, and my delicious My Mocha. Those were the days. Now that doesn't exist because I have my kids home with me, which I am so grateful for, because like I look back on that, having my mom at home with us, like that was just such a privilege. And so like I am so lucky that I am able to have the kiddos home with me. But for me, work now happens during nap time, before they wake up for the day, after they go to sleep for the day, if grandparents have them, that sort of thing. So I have to work when they're either sleeping or gone. It took me a year, a little over a year to figure this out after having Theo. Having these routines and systems in place going into having Lincoln and adding a second child to our family better prepared me. Like I felt like I was able to stay above water and just like easily tread and get back into like doing it all so much quicker than after Theo. Like it was such a drastic change adding a child to our life for me personally, because it's just like how you do things completely has to change. And that's not a bad thing. It's just like you have to figure it out. And I talk about all of this and more in a little PDF I made called Reset and Refresh Your Life, which all the little changes that made such a big difference after having Theo, I talk about in there, and I take you through how to do it all yourself, and I'll link that down below. But I had a lot of fun making that and putting that all together. Those little changes made all the difference and has made adding Lincoln into our family so much easier, I think. I think there's other things that factor in, like I'm already a mom, and I think that transition from not being a mom to a mom is a big one. So there's a lot of things that factor into the ease of adding a second compared to adding your first. That's what I have to say about like finding your normal. It's just like finding new ways to do things that work best for where you're at. I'm sure this will change once the boys start going to school or like preschool or whatever, but for now, that's how it works for me as like a newish mom. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed the content. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.